Hi guys, this is a video on how to make blends. So I'm going to open up a new document. The size sort of doesn't matter, so whatever you want to do. I'm going to choose web. I always choose web and the most common size. The reason I choose it is because then you get RGB colors rather than CMYK colors. And since these are basically screen graphics, that makes more logical sense. Alright, so the expectation is you can open up your computer and do this along with me. But I'm going to draw 3 shapes, okay? And I'll make them 3 different shapes. So I'll start off with a little circle. I'm going to make the circle a unique color, let's say red. There we go. Like I said, let's say red. I'm pretty sure I clicked red there. There we go. And then I'll draw myself a rectangle. I'll make this a different size, and that's on purpose. And I'll pick a different color. Let's say blue. And then one more shape. Let's get something a little bit more complicated. We'll do a star. And we'll make this guy green. Why not, right? There we go. We've got 3 different colors. And we're trying to understand what blends are and how they work. And this is going to be a really simplistic looking blend. So if you were to select all these, this is the first way you can make a blend. You could just go to Object, Blend, and Make. And once you click, there you go. There's a blend. It's as weird as that looks, that's a blend. It blends these things together. It blends their shapes together and their colors together. So their shapes and their colors are blended together. And it's all based on the order. Now, you can also do this manually by clicking on the blend tool. This is the blend tool. Press W to get the blend tool. And you could click, I'm going to start with the red one. Click on the red one, then click on the blue one, and then click on the green one. And then you can see the transition happening from red to blue to green. And you'll see that's purple right there. So it actually does mix the colors. I'm going to press Control Z a couple of times and do it again from the other direction. Green, blue, and then red. Alright, so that's going to be backwards. Notice that the star is in the front and the red is in the back the way I just did that. But if I do the red first and then the blue and then the green, then the green is actually in the back. Let's move that. I'm mistaken actually. The green is in the front because it's in the front over here. See that? So please notice that mistake. It didn't change my layers, but if I wanted the green to be in a different spot, I'd have to drag it down below blue and then below red, and you'll see that causes a little bit of chaos. That's just the way of it. I'm hitting the little Cheerios here so I can select these guys and control them, but you can change the order just by rearranging your layers. Notice that there's this extra line here. See this guy? So that's 2 ways to do it. Object, Blend, Make, or just use the blend tool. Now, every time you create a blend of more than 2 objects, I think even with 2 objects you'll get what's called a spine. So this is a spine right here. Now I'm using my white arrow. With my white arrow, I can avoid getting into groups, and I can move stuff around. Or if I just use my black arrow, I have to move the whole group. Or you could double click, go inside of the group that was created when you made a blend, and then you could move these guys around like that. But there is an invisible spine that didn't exist. See it right here? And you can modify that spine. If you wanted to, I'm going to use the Convert Anchor Point tool right here. I'm going to convert this to a curve like that. And check that out. How much prettier is that? All right. So there we go. Now your blend might look different than mine. These are called steps in between all these. So that's how a blend works. Now you can control blend steps by double clicking the blend tool with the blend selected, of course. And you could choose smooth colors chosen by default, but you could choose specified steps. And you could press preview, and then you could say, oh, I just want to have this many steps, 2 or a million. Then you get that nice smooth gradient. So right there, that's 55 steps. All right, so that's the basics on how to create a blend. Two different ways: object blend make, or use the blend tool, and how to go in and edit your blend. Now, how about creating a unique spine for it? You could always edit the spine that was there, but if you wanted to, you could take your pen tool, you could draw a curvy spine like I did here. I'm going to control click now because I want this to end, or I'll go press another tool. There's the spine. Doesn't have a color, doesn't have to. I'm going to select both of these, go to Object, Blend, and choose Replace Spine. What that'll do is it'll actually take the spine that was created automatically and replace it with the one I have selected. So Replace Spine, and there we go. It actually uses that spine. All right. One thing I want you to notice is that you can still modify these shapes after they're created. So if I use my white arrow again, I could modify this and you'll see the whole thing gets changed. Isn't that neat? Whoa, looking weird, huh? All right, so that's the bare bones basics of how that works. In your homework example, I do make a kind of a blend background, and the way that's made, this is a really quick, sloppy example, because I am kind of quickly making this video just for those of you that weren't in class, or if you wanted to review what we talked about in class. Here you go. I made a shape like this one. Let's say that I take it and I'll rotate it on the other side. It's that roughness that I want to repeat. So let me switch over to how about just a darker green gradient? Why not? All right, and then I'll go click here, 1, and then 2. And the spine really doesn't matter so much. I don't really care about the spine. Here and then there, The spine's not my concern. It's really just the transition. I'll double click the blend tool. I'll take the specified steps down to like some smaller number, but not one that doesn't show the edges. Yeah, that works pretty good. There we go. Now this is a little sloppy. I see this little corner has caused some problems. I'm going to press Shift-C and try to fix some of these minor issues. The smoother these edges are, the better this will behave. But at the end of the day, you could just make it bigger, fill out the page. This could be some sort of a abstract background of some kind, because really you would just end up with that. Pretty cool, right? All right. So this is different from a regular gradient because you can control it, manipulate it a lot more than you think. In fact, I'll show you one more neat example. Like, let's say if I drew an ellipse here, an ellipse here, and an ellipse here. And we'll go from a dark green to how about we go all the way to white? Okay, a dark green, a medium green, and then a white, like that. I think you'll find this interesting. And then use the blend tool. 1, 2, 3. See how they all blend together? Isn't that cool looking? And this is not your standard gradient because I can actually control the shape in a very unique way. See that? I mean, I can really manipulate things. So this is not your grandma's gradient. Yeah, you can quote that. But you get the idea. Pretty sure you get the idea. You have a lot of control over it. So it's a way to create custom gradients, and we're going to learn more about this. We talk about the gradient mesh tool in the future. But this is one option that you didn't know about, and now you know.